Welcome everybody to this TechEd session, which is all about our partner Infosys experience when attending the SAP Cloud for Utilities TechEd Bootcamp earlier this year. My name is Thomas Müller. I'm part of the Industry Business Unit for Utilities in SAP, focusing on the go-to-market for Cloud for Utilities. Besides myself, we have another speaker from SAP, which is Chris Fendner. And with that, Chris, could you please introduce yourself?
Oh, thank you, Thomas. My name is Chris Fender. I'm part of the Global Business Development and Ecosystem team, and I'm focused on utilities. I'm glad to be here today.
Thank you, Chris. And yeah, we are very glad to have speaker from Infosys here as well, joining our session today. And yeah, I would like to ask Ved to introduce himself.
Thank you, Thomas. My name is Ved Vyas, and I'm Associate Vice President with the Partner Ecosystem and Business Development team. I'm happy to be here to talk about our experience building a solution as a part of Sprint One.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Ved, and glad to have you here. And yeah, and then we have another speaker from Infosys. Nitin, over to you for a short introduction.
Hi, thanks, Thomas. My name is Nitin Kulkarni. I'm Senior Industry Principal at Infosys and heading the SAP Analytics COE at Infosys. And I'll be talking about the functional and the technical aspects of the solutions that we have developed as part of the Cloud for Utilities initiative.
Thank you very much, Nitin, and also glad to have you here today. So let's have a short look at how we structured this session content-wise. So I'm gonna start it off with a very short introduction on SAP Cloud for Utilities and the partner initiatives we have implemented as part of the development program. Then we blended over to the main part, the partner experience of Infosys while attending our TechEd Utilities Bootcamp. Nitin and Ved will cover this piece. And then we'll finish it up with Chris, who is providing some information about partner enablement activities we are providing to our partner ecosystem and also some economics. So yeah, let's get started. Then the partner ecosystem is very important for SAP. The overall partner strategy of SAP enjoyed a boost in 2021 through the Next Generation Partnering Initiative. This movement remains the foundation of our ecosystem strategy and is fully embedded into the SAP strategy and driving our product and architecture objectives. We are constantly looking at how we can make it more economically viable for partners to partner with SAP and how to better enable our partners to harness market opportunities in the years to come. So there are three pillars actually which act as the kind of North Star for this program. You can see the three pillars on the slide here. The partner-led innovation aspect of the program is in focus for this session today. To enable partner-led innovations in utilities, the Industry Cloud program, also launched last year, is of particular importance and enjoys a prominent role in the Cloud for Utilities program. Utilities is one of the selected industries in the first phase of the Industry Cloud program that SAP launched last year, as you can see on the slide. And this underlines the strategic importance of the energy sector for SAP, an industry which undergoes the biggest transformation of its history right now. Within the program, we support our partners to new opportunities by extending SAP for Utilities portfolio with partner-developed apps built on SAP Business Technology Platform. Yeah, and the Industry Cloud program, of course, is fully embedded into the intelligent enterprise concept Many of you have attended the other TechEd sessions, which were focusing on the intelligent enterprise. For that reason, we'll switch directly to a view that is more cloud for utilities specific. So we have, of course, we have our own version of the intelligent enterprise for utilities. I just talked about the major transformation that the energy sector is going through. To support this major transformation, SAP has launched the Cloud for Utilities Development Program, which is the biggest investment into the industry since the development of SAP ISU. To satisfy the wide-ranging requirements of our utilities customer base and enable them to build efficient, sustainable, and innovative new business models, we are leveraging the capabilities of the intelligent enterprise, as you can see on the slide, and combine them with specific industry cloud capabilities to ensure vertical end-to-end business processes. These industry cloud apps can come from the SAP Cloud for Utilities Development Program and can equally come from our broad partner ecosystem as well. In order to offer as many industry cloud applications to our customers as possible, we are strongly encouraging and supporting our partners to develop their own applications and with that become a part in SAP's cloud journey in utilities, and Infosys has done that. And in the next section of this presentation, you will hear more about it. Yeah, and to encourage our partners in one of the industry cloud initiatives in utilities was actually the TechEd Utilities Bootcamp in 2020. It was a follow-up activity to the TechEd 2020. And this was an important initiative for SAP to accelerate the partner-led innovations in the form of industry cloud apps for utilities, which complement our own developed cloud for utilities solution portfolio. Selected partners, partner edge build partners were invited for the initiative to come forward with their use cases based on customer or market requirements. Out of 24 use cases, we finally selected 7 to become part of the Utilities Bootcamp. And as you can see on the slide, SAP strongly enabled and supported these the 6 partners to develop their 7 use cases, and we were supporting from ideation, from use case development throughout the whole app development process. We were supporting in the commercialization process through SAP Store, and also, of course, defined joint go-to-market activities. And with that, I'd like to end this first section about SAP Cloud for Utilities and the TechEd Utilities Bootcamp that we have run earlier this year. Now I'd like to hand it over to Nitin, who will give you first-hand experience how Infosys developed their own industry cloud app.
Thank you, Thomas, for giving us the opportunity to present. What I will be talking about is the solution that we created as part of this initiative, the functional and the technical aspects of that. So as utilities continue their digital transformation of their business processes, they want to keep customers at the core of these transformations. Thus, delivering customer value and enhancing the customer experience are the key requirements. To achieve this, the utilities are increasingly focusing on understanding customers, their behavior, with an aim to augment value delivered to the customers. This requires the next generation CIS analytics, leveraging the power of AI, delivering the insights by connecting disparate data, as well as delivering personalized and contextual user experience. We need to design such solutions by making a shift from traditional descriptive analytics to more predictive and prescriptive analytics, leveraging AI and embed analytics into the processes and make them more efficient and autonomous. In other words, we shift our focus from the what happened to what is likely to happen and what is the best intervention for me to drive the outcomes. Infosys Intelligent Analytics for Utilities solution, there we have delivered the intelligent use cases by adding AI on top of analytics. The solution helps utilities to improve market share, improve the customer retention, as well as better manage the customer receivable. The solution has a few key functionality, which I will describe in brief. The tariff recommendation for residential customer. Here, we have enabled the ML algorithms to analyze the energy consumption data from IoT devices, as well as the total consumption to recommend time of usage tariff plans for the residential customers. This not only helps customers in saving on energy bill, but also helps utilities in demand side response. The tariff recommendation for commercial and industrial customers is on similar lines. It helps simulate the bill and recommends the optimal plan for the customers. The predictive customer retention analyzes the wide spectrum of data, such as surveys, billing history, customer service order information, to predict the customer churn and proposes intervention to improve the retention. Whereas the predictive revenue assurance solution helps to predict the customer's propensity to pay and then recommend the payment plans to customers who are likely to default. Another element, the important element, is the self-service analytics. Here we have leveraged our industry experience to create the industry standard data models that helps users build stories, reports, discover data. This significantly reduces the IT dependency in generating analytics from data and also helps in delivering agility. So in summary, we are creating a platform for the next generation analytics that helps front office as well as back office personnel to drive the actionable insights and augment the value delivered to the end customers. This can become a consolidated platform for most analytical needs in the customer service area. I will now cover the technology architecture. So when you look at the technology architecture, our objective was to make it scalable and at the same time keeping the components minimal and make it simple for our customers as well as while building the solution. So as you can see, we are integrating data from multiple source systems, which includes the SAP S/4 utilities or ISU, C4C, Qualtrics, even the flat file information, which then gets into the BTP platform where we use the SAP HANA Cloud Storage, where this information gets stored. The IoT information or IoT data also goes to the IoT cockpit into the HANA Cloud Storage. And from there, we combine it in a logical manner, the various disparate data set, and make it available for consumption in UI5 and SAP Analytics Cloud for the self-service perspective. We are using the Python machine learning library for generating predictions and feeding it back to the HANA Cloud. So with this, we're making the platform which is scalable. And most importantly, because these are a different set of use cases, logically combined together, we do understand that customers will have some preferences in terms of adoption, and they may want to adopt at their own pace. So these are made into components for easy adoption. So as you can see that with the SAP's BTP Cloud Platform, we'll be able to offer them as a SaaS solution, and it will remain a scalable offering for our customers. So with this, I will hand it over to Ved to talk about the process that we went through in creating this solution. Over to you, Ved.
Thanks, Nitin, for providing the overview of solution and architecture. Once again, thanks, Chris and Thomas, for giving us this opportunity to share our experience of developing a solution as a part of Bootcamp. So when we as an Infosys have always been very focused on developing asset solution IPs that addresses a specific industry or client situation. which are not readily available out of box from the standard software. So when we're invited to participate in bootcamp, we're really very excited. At that point of time, we're working on 4 or 5 different use cases for utilities customer, which is submitted to SAP team. And after deliberation and input from SAP team, and also looking at SAP product roadmap, we prioritize intelligent customer insight as the solution that we would develop as a part of bootcamp. So once we've decided to develop the solution, then we had 1 week time to create a demo and showcase the demo to larger SAP team, including product development, to validate the solution, validate the use case, and also ensure what we're trying to build is aligned with SAP product roadmap, and also enhances the overall value proposition to our utilities customer. We, based on SAP input, we decided it's also important during that process. The most important thing was to identify the scope, which gives the very good representation of overall solution. But at the same time, that is something that we can develop or demo in a week's time, because we had a week time to prepare a demo and showcase it to broader SAP team. So we selected tariff recommendation as the use case that we wanted to build as a part of demo jam. We got significant input from SAP to develop the demo, which is showcased to the SAP, which was liked, which was very much appreciated by SAP team. We also got some very, very relevant feedback on how to improve the overall solution and how we should plan the development. Once we got go ahead from SAP team to develop the solution, we entered into the build phase. From the very beginning, we treated this build as same as we treat any of the customer program that we do. So we put together a plan, we put together a timeline, we set up a governance with SAP team to ensure we're tracking the progress of our build. Not only the progress, but also if there are any issues, both in terms of the functional or technical or architecture, that we are raising it with SAP, and we're getting the support during the process to ensure our development timelines are intact, or it's not slipping. We got significant support during the process, and with the help of SAP, we completed the first phase of development in July. During the process, we also got help from SAP, not only while we're focusing on build, but also to look ahead. And SAP team organized a session on how to publish the solution on SAP Store, which was very valuable. So we start thinking about also how exactly we're going to publish that solution on SAP Store. We also get input on how to think about the pricing of the solution, and that was also important as we're building. It's important that start thinking about how to price the solution. So we got significant input on that, and then we start working on that. Now we have, at this stage, we are now working on publishing the solution on SAP Store. We're also in parallel working on putting together pricing for the solution, because we want to offer this as a platform on SaaS. Now, if you look back and think about, what are some of the best practices or some of the lessons learned during the process? I think during the initial phase, when we are discussing the use case, we're still deciding the use case. The insight that we received from SAP helped us to choose the right solution, which not only align with SAP roadmap, but we have also alignment with the customer requirement, or that is something that has significant market opportunity. So that helped us significantly in terms of prioritizing the solution that we wanted to develop as a part of the initiative. The second and most importantly, we continue to get support from SAP team to develop the solution. Once our solution was ready, then we got a forum. SAP provided us a forum to showcase our solution to the co-innovation customer. And I can't think of any better forum to showcase our solution and get a initial feedback from the customer. The solution was very well received. We got some very insightful input from the team, which we are working on to ensure to incorporate all these functionality for the next release. Now, if I look back, some of the lessons that we learned during the process, one thing is for sure, I think while developing the solution, it's very important to think about integration from the day one, because a solution, especially for the large enterprise, integration is very important, and it's important to think from the day one to ensure it doesn't fall into the critical path. The other thing is also the pricing. Pricing requires significant amount of collaboration between the various teams. So it's important to start thinking about how to price the solution from the day one. The third thing that we realized, since our solution uses an AI ML algorithm, and as you know, algorithm requires significant amount of data to refine the algorithm to work algorithm correctly. It's important that we should devote enough time to get the data and to get the test data to ensure your ML algorithms are very well tuned. So overall, I think it has been great experience working with the SAP team. It got, during the entire development process, we received significant amount of input and insight to enhance our solution and ensure, I think, we're developing as per the schedule. But most importantly, in this entire sprint process, our solution was well aligned with SAP objective as well as customer objective from day one. We have been working with some other industry as well, but this from if I compare and contrast with other industry, this gives us the confidence from the day one. Our solution is going to address significant problem for SAP for utilities customer. At the same time, this is also aligned with the SAP roadmap. With that, I will hand over to Chris.
Very good. Thank you, Ved, and thank you, Nitin, for Infosys's partnership with SAP, your willingness to present the solution today, and your experiences during Sprint 1. We very much appreciate it. So I'm going to talk a little bit today about enablement resources, and you can see this slide. We've got 6 links on this slide. We're focused on the first one in the top left. This is in the build area, and it's the learning journey for developers and architects. And if you were to click on that link, it would open up to the SAP Learning Hub, which provides learning journeys in a variety of categories. And the categories are, because I'm going to name them so that you're interested in them, the business technology platform, the CRM and customer experience, ERP and finance, HR and people engagement, ISV partners in the build program, industry focused, intelligent enterprise, and supplier chain management. So we do learning journeys in all of those different categories. And in addition, you can research in the Learning Hub on a role-based, for developer, for architects, for pre-sales, for sales. So you can find specifically what you're looking for from a Learning Hub. Switching over to the middle, the Industry Cloud, the Build Learning Room, it is what it is. I'll switch over to the next one, which is the SAP community. It says coming soon. It's actually here. And the community, you can find resources and programs to help you for any topic from within SAP or for partners. You can ask questions, you can read blogs, you can share your own experiences. It's very much a blog-based area within SAP. It's very interesting. You should go in there and check it out. Bottom left says Architecture and Development Guide for Industry Cloud Solutions. It is what it says. The middle one, Forrester Total Economic Study and Industry Cloud Readiness Check. It's a study by Forrester. It's interesting. You should click on that and take a read of it. Talks a lot about industry and cloud. And the last one on the bottom right is the Business Technology Platform in the Learning Room. That's I'm highlighting that one, which is the same. It's in the top one on the far left, top left. So, but I'm highlighting it again as the Business Technology Platform is available, right? The Learning Room for you. These are specifically geared to pre-sales and sales folks. The Partner Edge landing page, you get a lot of information there. the learning journey for partner sales. That's a subset of the first one, but it's very specific information for sales and pre-sales. Shifting over on the top right, the industry cloud solutions on the SAP store. This is the SAP store where we sell our solutions and the partner solutions, and these are the ones where you can filter that are industry cloud specific. Bottom left, intelligent enterprise in the industry cloud in the learning room. That's all in the learning room. You want to click on that one, get directly to that information. And then the industry cloud solution overview. This is a storyboard. It's industry cloud solutions, SAP and partner based, but it provides a little bit more of the story behind each one and what it's used for. So this slide, you're attending this session, you're in Tech Ed, and you're listening to this particular session, but there are other sessions available. And make them known. We're making them known to you because this is a premier virtual event for developers, and through SAP Tech Ed and the SAP Learning site, you can gain solution skills and prepare for certification exams to become a more knowledgeable employee. Use Tech Ed to find the additional learnings that you would need to perform better in your job. I want to thank my co-presenters, Ved, Nitin, and Thomas. Thank you for attending this session and presenting so well.
Thanks for attending the session today.
Thank you all for attending the session.
Also from my side, thank you very much for attending the session. I hope you found it interesting. If you want to get more information, you have our contact details. Yeah, and please enjoy the rest of the day and the other Tech Ed sessions, Tech Ed presentations. Thank you very much again, and bye-bye.